So I'm working the inn for Brooks Dunn. I worked for them 3 times, I think. But anyways, this time, we're working the inn, and we're on the arena floor, right? Sauce Place, arena floor. That might be a different name by that time, Credit Union Center or something. But anyways, there's a group over here, a group over here, a group over here, a group over here, and there's us, right? And we only got 4 in our group. Me, 3 other local crew, and our roadie. And our roadie decides he's got to go do something. He says, listen, why don't you guys go for a 10, maybe 15-minute coffee break, smoke break, out that door there, and, you know, if I come back early, I'll come and get you. I said, well, is there any chance I could do something, anything, while you're gone, you know, to speed us up? And I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. But I do inhale, right? I smoke pot, though. So my roadie says, looks at me, right? Really real funny, right? Like, not in a happy way, didn't look at. So I'm thinking, oh, fudge, what did I just say? So he looks at me and says, Ross, when you came in this morning, did you smoke a joint before you came in? So I don't lie, I don't fudge, I don't make things up, I don't try to stretch the truth. I said, well, I'll tell you the truth. Me and Buddy smoked a couple joints before we came in this morning, right in the parking lot. So my roadie looks at me and I'm thinking, oh God, Jesus, here we go, now I'm gonna get shit on. He says, well, you know, Russ, you've been doing a hell of a bang-up job so far. Why don't you go for a Toke Break? And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? No, go ahead. Yeah, you know, you've done nothing to make me think that it would give you any whatevers, right? So I'm like, okay, far out. Now, while we were working on this certain prop, and everybody else was working on props too, I don't remember what props, but anyways, while we were doing that, before we got sent for a smoked Toke Break, I seen this guy with a black cowboy hat on, walking around. Somebody came over and said, hey, see that guy over there with the hat? I said, yeah. He said, that's Paul Brandt. He's been picking on us. And other guys, other local crew too, right? I said, he says, what should I do? I said, well, I ain't doing shit. Unless he comes over here and pulls that crap with me, right? So I'm done talking to my roadie walks away. I turn around to leave with my 3 local crew. And who's standing behind me? This character with the big black cowboy hat on, and he's looking at me, right? And my other 3 working crew, right? And he says, you know, guys, I really wish just one of you guys could sing. I'd trade you jobs in a second. I'd do your job for the day, and you could sing for me tonight. I was in a giddy mood that day. And I'm having a good day. My boss just told me, Roadie, so I could just go for a Toke Break, right? So I'm actually in a pretty good mood. So as dumb as it sounds, I said, oh, hey, okay, tell you what, Paul, because I knew his name, I said, pick up that 50-foot snake right there. I'll push this big black cable container on wheels for you, and you can figure 8 that snake into that cable, because that's our next job after this. So Paul looks down at that snake, and the snake is about this thick. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. This one was a bigger one. It was pretty thick, pretty heavy, and hard to deal with. I know this because I always get stuck with working the snake. And I don't mind doing it because actually, the harder you work, the faster the day goes. So anyways, so I says, well, pick up that 50-foot snake and start figuring it in this cable box on wheels, and I'll push the cable box for you. So he looks down at it and he goes, I don't know if I could do that. Looks pretty heavy and hard to deal with. So like a smart ass I am, I go, that's right, you can't do that, can you? But you know what I can do? I can get up on that fucking stage tonight, sing any song that you and I both know. I'll sing it as good or better than you. Then I nudged him with my shoulder. I got witnesses, so I just made this up. So I nudged him on my shoulder and I said, I'm going for my Toke Break now. And we went outside and had our Toke Break. After we came in, we're back working at the roadie project, and people in the other crews were pointing over at us, right? And I knew what they were thinking. They were thinking, hey, that's the guy who fucking did Paul Brandt, So anyways, I'm looking, as we're working, I'm looking to see if I can see Paul anywhere. And not there, right? So someone comes over, one of the other crew, right? He says, did you know that as soon as you were done talking to Paul Brandt, he left? Like, he didn't say boo to nobody, this, that. He just left, and apparently he's not here no more. So that afternoon, as we're doing this and that, and you know, we're mixing together with the other crews and stuff, guys, you come up to you, I can't believe you did that to Paul Brandt. Did you really nudge him with your shoulder on the way out and stuff? I'm like, yeah, I did. Pissed me off. I was having a good mood. But I thought, I thought it'd be kind of humorous. He's not going to pick a fight with me, for Christ's sakes. I had muscles back then. I had a attitude problem, some say. But with that said, later in the day, the show was up. We're backstage. Me and my buddy Ben C. And he's standing over there by the brick wall there. And I'm sitting on one of the cable boxes. I'm waiting for him to come over, because usually you sit down on a cable box and chat before a concert starts, right? Well, this other guy with a big black cowboy hat comes out. Cheesy mustache, dark hair, shiny boots, cowboy boots, I think, if I remember correctly. Sparkly shirt, but it's a Western shirt. And I don't remember what his pants were. But anyways, he comes over, and I really thought it was one of the mentally challenged family members or something, of one of the band members. Because it does happen. Some band members will bring family members, like cousins and stuff, but if they're mentally challenged, they'll bring them back, they'll dress them up and this and that, they'll give them all sorts of souvenirs, whatever, and to make their day, right? And then they get a special spot out in the audience to watch the show. So anyways, this guy comes over, and I thought, I got nothing against my mentally challenged kids and stuff. I really don't. Shannon Tweed, she did that whenever Kiss came. She'd have mentally challenged people there, and they'd go to meet the band, right? So I just assumed that this guy was a little challenged, because he didn't look quite right at first. So anyways, he sits down beside me, tells me a joke. I thought it was funny, so I told him a joke back. For like 20, 25 minutes, me and him were sitting there joking, right? And at one point, I told him about what happened in the morning with Paul Brandt, right? And I told him the whole story, and he actually chuckled. He thought it was pretty hilarious. He said, I can't believe you did that. I says, oh, well, I do funny things at times, right? So anyways, this other guy comes from the dressing room hallway. Cheesy goatee pussy, I call it. He comes through, and as he's walking by us, he goes, time to go to work, bud, or whatever words he used, right? And keeps walking past us. Now, I had no idea who Brooks and Dunn were. But I was going to sit and find out, because here he is. As soon as that guy came walking by, he says, hey, good to meet you, Ross. Shakes my hand. I'm Kix Brooks, or whatever he says, right? And I still didn't catch on, right? So he walks over to the stage left, which if you're in the audience, it would be on the right-hand side. You do it from backwards, right? So anyways, walks over the stage left stairs, stands at the bottom, and he gives me a wink and, whatever type thing, right? And the other guy goes the other side, and he's waiting at the bottom of the stage right stairs. And the whole time, I didn't realize the band was already on stage playing the intros. Sometimes I miss stuff. So anyways, I noticed now that they're on stage playing. I'm going, hey, maybe he's one of the special violin players or something, right? So anyways, on cue, they both go up on stage. And I don't remember a whole lot other than that. But anyways, I do remember sitting there waiting, song after song after song. And finally I hear this song that I noticed, that I heard before, called Maria, My Maria. So I'm like, and then by this time, Ben sits down beside me. He wouldn't come over when Kix Brooks is with me, because we're not allowed to talk to celebrities unless they talk to us first. And because this guy sat down beside me and talked to me first, I was well within my rights. And even Kix, I said, Ben, come here, right? Ben wouldn't budge. Kix even said, come on over. And he would move 2 inches. So I sat there the whole time with Kix Brooks and stuff. When I finally heard Maria, and now at this point, I'm still on the cable box. I guess I was there for the whole thing. I didn't want to miss a song if I knew one, right? So anyways, my Maria comes on. I go, hey, I know this song. And looks at me like, oh, shit. It was funny. I had no idea who you were. So anyways, another time we worked for Brooks Dunn. We set up the show and that, and I'm backstage because I'm a local working stagehand. I can be backstage the whole concert if I want, just in case I'm needed for whatever reason. And if there's an opening act, when the opening act is done, we go on stage with our roadies, we remove all their gear, and then our roadies move the main act's gear forward, drum set and all, and or unwrap the drum set because it's usually under black cloth, so you don't see the drum set until it's time for them to perform. So anyways, there's upstage and downstage. Downstage is the front of the stage, and in the back, the way my boss Rudy told me, back in the old days, they used to put the orchestra in upstage. And upstage is the very back of the stage that's raised, right? It could be one tier, two tiers, and they'll have instrument players, trumpet guys and sax here, then violin and stuff here, and then whatever, right? So that's called upstage, and the front is called downstage. So anyways, me and two local crew were underneath the upstage, right? And we've got Reba McEntire with us. And there's a round circle, with a couple things. So they, two guys, when she steps on it, they can pick her up and slowly, and there'll be a hole in upstage, right, at the very backstage, and they slowly lift her up like this, like it's mechanical or something, right? And then once she gets up to there, she'll walk off of it, and then I put on two locking clips, right? So if she does happen to step on it, it doesn't come down, right? So now they can walk over stage and not have to worry about it. But anyways, we're there, and I'm getting ready to hold Reba's hips, and the two guys are ready to start lifting her, and Reba looks at us and she goes, I can't smile. I don't know what's wrong. I can't smile. Please help me smile. And the two guys I was with were not saying shit. They ain't saying a word, right? So anyways, I didn't say anything either. So they started lifting her up. And as they start lifting her up, I'm holding her waist, and she gets so high, now I got to cup her bum, right? But as I do that, I take my hands off her bum, I tickled her little hips, and I pinched her bum. Just as her head is about to go through. Bam! She let out a giggle, and she started smiling. So they put her up through there. I locked the little pins in place to hold, I guess it was little bars if I remember correctly. But anyways, shoved little bars in there and little caps there too. And then now she can go wherever she wants on the stage and sing, right? But if I hadn't done that, I don't know what would have happened, because she was desperate, really desperate to smile. And she said, I've never had this happen. I can't smile. Help me smile. So that's how I made Reba McEntire smile.